You need to re-plug the cables so each match the sequence. Nice. That rearrangement should be enough to let enough electric current pass through the board. This land is as dry as a lizard's back. This day is as good as it's going to get. Watch it. You found the village of Brogg. Let's see. You can always find some use for rubber scrap. Says he's terrified of the Brogg that lives in the middle of a desolate garbage pile. It's this giant mouth in the middle of the ground, and it's hungry. If they don't keep it fed, it might chow down the entire... Claims they didn't ask you to hurt it, just find a way to feed it. Or, you know, feed it. Claims this used to be a pleasant place to live before the Brogg showed up underneath it. Someone needs to feed the Brogg. No one who calls this a home can manage. So few places for something to hide. Just take that grungy food glob and toss it into the Brogg's jaw maw. Just take that grungy food glob and toss it into the Brogg's jaw maw. Just take that grungy food glob and toss it into the Brogg's jaw maw. Smoothing. Well, at least we know the Brogg's fully full, for now. You fed that monster good. No more... You're welcome here anytime. Perhaps you would prefer your feet on the ground. That's Iku's spot, a bunch of heartless raiders. This one seems to be in good spirits, despite being left here for dead. Has heard that you have a sense of compassion and trusts it's in your nature to help those in need. Asks you to do the right thing for the sake of your conscience. It's only through your... The plague that's ruining the land needs to be stopped. Let's see what you can find. Looks like you've got this. For some, the night brings terror. There's Vango's place, a den of disrepute. A smart foe would leave now. Gross. Has heard. Asks you.
Over bug ad.
There's a serenity about this spot. It's a place for rest and recovery. There's a serenity about this spot. It's a place for rest and... You can see a lot farther now than at night. You don't see that in the shops. Look around. The surgesurf factory. Keep your eye out for Wiz while you're here. Let's see. Your destiny waits on the path you'll take to avoid it. Toxanol's mining led to mass deforestation and increased global warming, as nature couldn't absorb the carbon dioxide and greenhouse gas emissions without the trees. These irreversible changes to the climate also contributed to the evolution and modified our genetic code. Wuz isn't easy on the tongue, but I think he says he's happy to see a friendly face. Not
None.
Says it's good to see you again. He's Wiz. You might remember him from the old days when he let you... Wiz remembers you were such a cheery kid, and he's glad to see that light hasn't faded from you, despite the years. But Wiz understands it was a long time ago, and he set up camp at the foot of the Tree of Life. It's gotten more difficult for it to find defenseless prey, as it's already eaten most of them. Wiz says our memory keeps things for us, preserves them until we... He knows you've returned to face Lupa Lupin, and that He's not surprised that the loss of your family could plunge you into the depths forever, but you've all... He knows that... He feels you've deserved revenge because of how you were wronged. You've suffered enough to make him... Asks if you ever think about freedom and where there any... Glad to hear that. He only wishes... Amazed the world is going to continue on, but happy to hear it. Still so... Impressed that you fought so hard to keep the world spinning. Thinks you were smart to join with the Myriad. Thinks that kind of diversity. But that's not nearly as important. Wiz says that you should let the past dwell in the depths. But there's something else down there too, gnawing at the Tree of Life. He's named it the Merc Puff. This is why he's tinker-tonkering with the octopod. but the lid got stuck, so he needs a big enough tug twister to open it up and let you... He can't leave the surge station, so you must help him find a tug twister. There's a wound-up Mekafingro in the Mecha Stadium that still has one stuck on its back. Getting that tool will help turn around the situation for sure. Look at the notices on that board. No one paid much attention to them, it looks like. Wiz should be around here somewhere, probably taking care of his guppos. A surgesurf factory would... The power comes from turning... There are sure to be more tracks around here. Pick your path carefully by whatever you can see. Impressed you found that, despite all the goo. This place has held power for a long time. In many ways, that would require cleaning. Glad you found that track. There's a lot to learn about. Shines happy. Says you're welcome back. Perhaps now you can see your targets better. Check out that day. You found a bric-a-brac that's not absolutely flat.
Filthy.
Disgusting. Biohazard. Just gross. Check out that e-waste. That's a good find. You can't really understand your story till it's done. A poor's place. Probably cleaned out, but you never know. That's not too bad. The Mecha Stadium is near here. That's built from great stuff. Nothing's simple. It's locked. You feel soggy enough yet? Ooh, a biohazard like that can make you real sick. You need to loosen the bolts without unsettling it. That's it. The tug twister's loose. Let's hope it turned the grabbing hand into a helping hand, too. You need to line up the switches so they match. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. Heroes are only heroes for others, but they do the work, or they're heroes to no one. Nice. Some barked wood scrap for you. Some wood scrap. Always happy to find that. Look at that plastic scrap, just waiting for someone to do something with it. He believed the tug twister would do the trick, but now realizes brute force won't do the trick. You need something slick. Well, he means slick as in greasy, so you can lube the hinges of the lid. He can't argue against the fact you're... He says the lid should open if you sprinkle grease it. Problem is, he knows... He stresses that you should come back as soon as... Wants you to think of it as a black tar spritzer. The dead zone is full of that slimy black goo. There's a lot on the line here. He's convinced the tracks are like the paths our lives take, and you... This time, though, he was sidetracked and needs a new wing nuts are easy to find, as they're fitted on any in-front chugger-chugger. Says he knew you would, like he knows.